We need to get your audio, Lauren.
Thank you, Teja. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's virtual dojo. Nado Sensei will be with us in just a few minutes. As always, I want to thank Ken Cron for hosting and Richard Moon, Brad Jacobson, and Katja for making this possible. I'll post information about voluntary donations. And of course, we record the sessions and afterwards they're posted up onto YouTube, to the Richard Moon channel. And so I think we're just about ready to go. If,
Lauren, may I just correct? That's the Moon Sensei channel. The Richard Moon channel is all my weird songs.
If you can't tell the difference between those two channels, you're at the wrong place. And so I see Nado Sensei, and so here we go. Nado Sensei, we're live.
Ah, good evening. Why are we quieter tonight?
Well, the numbers are up to 33, but climbing slowly.
Quiet. So quiet. Okay. Tonight I'd like to finish up on the letters. But first, I'm hearing in the newspaper, whatever, that there is a getting back to life anxiety. Now, we all know what that is, right? But let's go over it again. By the way, I hate the word anxiety. It's energy on the move. You want to call it anxiety, you're going to have to take a pill or see your therapist. It's energy on the move. We can deal with that. Is that okay? So why is that happening? Well, we've been kind of quiet, and now they're talking about soon you're going to get out into the world and you're going to go back to work and you're going to hug your buddies and on and on and on. Now, to go from this quieter state we've been in to being active, you need energy to be Mr. or Miss Active. Okay. Also, we've been downtiming for quite a while, so there's a possibility that the upsurge will be a little better level of me. So, anxiety. You're getting a lot of energies because you need the energies to be more huggy, to be more out there, to be active at work, to drive with the crowded highways that are coming up soon. So you're starting to get all the prelim of these energies. Now you know how to settle, open, intake them. They're trying to mix up a better character, you, who is appropriate with the world she is in. All right, so dispense with that word anxiety. I don't like it. Are we okay on that? Reminder, yeah? Okay, letters. Who should we start with? Let's do 7. I'm almost there. 8, 10, 9. Okay. Here we are. Okay. I mentioned this for a moment a week or so ago. This one, just the this person is realizing that the beats of things really catching his attention. Okay, he's seeing the inhale, exhale beat. He's saying, oh, it's nighttime now, it's daytime beat. So he's seeing beat and he's rowing, exercise, and there's a beat there. Okay, so the beat, the pulsation, whatever you want to call it, is highlighting him. Boom. Okay, now what should we do with this? Now he's noticing that there is a state of being in harmony with the beats or at ease with the beats. There's the beats, and he's okay in those beats. And he notices that the better I feel. Okay, so anytime there's a harmony or balance, That's a certain level of being okay at that level. Okay. If you continue with finer beats, then we move off that level and we get okay with the finer, maybe fuller, depends on how you're playing it. But it'll balance. And someplace you kind of catch the balance. And at that place, you'll feel better in some form. Okay. Calmer, nicer, smoother, more intelligent, whatever. You'll feel better somehow. Okay. Now, what we can do here at that balance place is maybe highlight potentially the character, because he wants to know. I think he's asking if there's a little bit more here, or the continuation of this. We might, one possibility is at that balance place of the energies. Now we have energies up and down, okay? So we have the up and down energies, and when they feel balanced, right then we can have a character. Okay, who are you? Who are you? Not just as an idea, but a feeling, breathing experience. I am ... Okay, at a certain level, I am Bobby. Better level, makes I am Robert. I stand a little straighter. I feel a little fuller, a little stronger inside my form. You could be nicer, fuller, sweeter, fuller, more caring, fuller. All right, I give you my macho form. All right, but you'll be doing your form. But we still have to experience character. Okay, so at this balance place where he says, I feel better. I say, okay, maybe we should do an aside there. When you feel better, maybe you ought to play with because the energies are in balance, they're breeding or mixing. Well, since it would say create, but he was using it in a bigger sense. So, they're breeding or mixing a better character. So you might double check that and see what that does for you. Is that okay? Another little more advanced, or a lot more advanced possibility, but I would use it, double check the character and make sure you're really being a character there, fully experiential as best you can. Another, where we'll get to eventually here, is with this balance of harmonies up and down, in and out, however you want to look at the center circle of things. So there's a balance there, and then there's a circular situation you're in, which has a balance, which also mixes up a character, same character but you're getting more full. I'll get into that in a few minutes. So experience, feel, breathe the character. One day I'm going to ask you at that level, or a finer level of balance, that there's a self in there someplace, and we'll call for self to show itself, activate itself. So yourself, capital S here, yourself can show, not your, I'm aware of me, is not what I call self. So I'm doing a big jump here, people. Did you catch that? Self with a capital S, true self. And eventually pure self, more original self, soul self. It has many names. Okay. So anyway, get the balance and experience the character. Okay. And then eventually we'll get the balance, experience the character, and continue through it for self to show. Did I lay out too much there? See if I covered his letter okay. How do I feel? Okay. There's a wording here I don't quite understand. How best to become part of the flow. I'm not quite sure what that means. The flow flows, and when those energies are in harmony, there's an intermixing character breeding. Okay, so I don't have to flow and then flow. The flow flows. So I can be easy and I'm aware of the flow, let's say, but I don't become the flow and the flow. I'm easy and I let the flow flow. As I easy some more, the flow will show its finer vibration rate. It'll flow better. Okay, anytime in there when I feel, ooh, that's nice, I'm aware of some kind of a balanced location. Again, the character and eventually self. Oh, okay, I hope I covered that one all right. Moving along. Page 10. Just one page here. Okay, hang on. There it is. Okay, this is Ariana. I think I mentioned Ariana last week or earlier. I think I said Ariana, nice piece of work. Now, what Ariana did. Is that right? Is this Ariana's letter? Anyway, whoever it is. In her world, okay, situation she's in, the world you're in, she's taken by the flight of birds, their freedom, their flight. She just felt pleasant being aware of birds. And then also she felt alive or aware of the aliveness of plants, vegetables. Okay, you all got your own layout, people. She realized vegetables are each aware with themselves, okay, alive with themselves, okay? And she likes that feeling of being in harmony there. So because of the harmony here with birds and veggies, whatever, she felt pretty good. Okay, she got a character there who feels pretty good. Now she did a beautiful piece of work. Let me read how she wrote it. Okay, now I'm interested in opening up to ground energy. Okay. And that there are energy helpers. So she used gravity or settling down. She throws the word gravity here. To me, that's a settling down, downtime kind of thing. Till you tap a better level, a bigger pool. Again, however you want to imagine, sense that. I use floors or pools as a reference. The energy the earth lends a nature wisdom to support the earth, the energies that are coming up from deeper this way. She's talking about these energies starting to come up more. Okay. And that they're an ally. Remember, she had a character because she was okay with the birds and the veggies. Okay. Some kind of harmony there, and she felt good being aware of the aliveness of that. So she had a character there. But then she did a good move and opened up to something under. And that under, that bigger pool, a deeper floor dimensionally, starts to activate to make her character much more full. Okay. I allow energy to fill into a new level of reality. As this energy fills in, there's a better level of reality. Okay. She's as a character much more fully there in relation to the bigger circle she's in. She's better. Her awareness of the situation and pleasure with the situation is better. Let me see. I want to get this ground stuff. It feels so much more than just a singular idea. Yes. I'm more aware of ground energy. This active, alive stuff is a something. It's not an idea. It's an actual something. Breathe it, slurpee it, inhale it. It's active. It's there. It's not just an idea about it. Okay, you'll have the idea, but you won't have any guts. You won't have any ground. You won't have any my style. Okay. It places me more fully in the world, she says. She's much because of this, and then she added this. She's much more present in the world and everything that means. She's more alive with the aliveness of the world, and on and on. I like that. I'm not finished yet with her. She may be asking a self question here. In all these letters, I'm hearing a bit of self trying to call out. I'm here. Boom, self. Okay. The hidden piece, the elusive piece, the elephant in the room piece. All right. And we'll again cover that much more in the future. But she asks, how do I bring forward me? Well, again, I can say, well, double check the fuller of the character. So far, so good. You did a great job in how you patterned that. Be the character more and more and more. And you can say, well, me, character, me, Robert, me, Nado, me, sensei, feeling it, breathing, manifesting it. Okay. But also, you might be asking about self, that your balance is getting good enough where self is there, it's trying to show through. All right. If you want to double check again, do it with the double check the character, and Patrick do the same thing. Double check the character, but you also may be at a self level, but you can't go wrong double checking the character. Okay, character is a good go between why we balance to get a better character. Why? Because as we continue finer self through the character self, how do we get there? Balance. Hey and ho, centered in circles, whatever, to a finer dimensional level, better character. And we don't have to do the entirety of the universe. Once you get a sense of how it works, self is available. Okay, so I think I'm hearing it in a lot of these letters cropping up and waving its hand at me, so to speak. Okay, so are you people okay with me so far?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Yeah, thank you. It was a nice piece of work. Damn. Good. Leave me alone. Open mic. Anything before I get too far ahead of you or confuse you? No end.
Anybody want to interject? Just wave and unmute, please. And nobody's waving.
Nobody's waving. Okay. Nope, not a wave in the bunch. Okay.
Oh, here's Danny. Here's Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny.
Thank you. Well, I found that writing particularly descriptive and sort of conveyed a really strong feeling, which and a few things came clear to me about working through the character.
And Danny, could you please lift your voice a little louder?
Oh, I'll move closer. Through working through the character to the different selves, I didn't quite get that until I heard this wonderful narrative. So thanks.
Danny, just a potential correction on your wording.
Yes.
I am going to do a sort of a self is not dimensional. Self is the white paper. It's full bore there. But because we're in a dimensional creation, I am going to take a click approach with self. So I don't want, Danny, I don't want to do it as a bunch of selves running around out there, but as this level of self itself present, and then boom, eventually a finer level of self present. Okay.
Yeah, because I do know I have quite a number of cells floating around.
Okay, let's not use the word self with those guys.
Okay.
Let's call them sub-characters or something. Made up
Right.
characters in your world. But let's hold self for that damn piece of underlying paper that always was or was in the beginning, so we don't confuse ourselves on the words. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's very good because I'm getting confused.
Good.
Yeah.
When we come around and major in this more, we'll try to unconfuse you. Thank you, Danny. Okay. Joanna, we're on page 13. Aikido thing. Oh, one thing I liked about this one, Joanna, was this for a few years, I began slowly to learn how to listen to my body. It's, quote, weird, unquote, language. Learn to listen to my body. It's weird language. Hold that a moment. Not the normal language of I. The clearer I can listen to the language of my body, the faster, better, deeper she can do her process. What I like about that is, see, everything talks, okay? So I talk, easy, body experiencing itself more and more can talk, but it uses body language. If I try to understand it from my eye, I don't understand the language very well. But at a body level, when body dialogues something, you understand the language, okay? So follow my brain map. Remember the idea, the feeling, a finer feeling, maybe emotionality comes in there. So we could say emotions have a language, okay? And some of you are much better with that languaging than I am. I've sort of been not heavy into emotionality. Anyway, everything talks. Those energies that go up and down talk. I had you many months ago play a game of that one of them's more masculine, for lack of words, one of them's more feminine. Can you tell the difference? Which one is it for you? And you could hear the difference. Oh, that one's a masculine one. Oh, no, this one for me is the feminine one. You could hear the difference by how they talk. We know the language, but not as an I. But when you get to that level, easy, the thing's on the move, the thing is talking about itself. Yeah, easy. At that level, you understand the language. So I like what you said about, hey, the body has a language different than the eye's language. But hanging out with it, I understand it and really helps me to move along. Yes, and there'll be more. Okay, so it's like so roughly everything talks. Okay, and everything at certain levels is intelligent about itself. It talks. Talks in different ways. Sometimes you'll just get an image from it. You have your own form. I get images. I don't hear them in my ear, but I hear words, or I'm aware of the words, however you want to say that. So you'll have your own form. Okay, it'll do it symbolic. It'll show symbols. So I often get symbols I don't understand. I say, could you give me a different one? And the symbol will turn into a different symbol. And usually by the third one, oh, I know what you're saying, because I see the pattern of it. So anyway, everything talks somehow or t'other. Okay? When people talk to a horse or a dog, they're a horse whisperer. They're hearing words somehow. So you'd have to ask each individual one. Noah, I asked you to follow up on that for me, and I don't think you ever did. I'm on your case here.
You're
Yep.
muted, Bob.
Unmute.
Noah, you're muted.
I will try to do better, Sensei.
Well, it'd be interesting, just for fun, just to know how she thinks she hears what the horse is saying.
Right.
Just for fun, yeah. There may be a form that we may have missed, and we'll throw it into the pile with the others. Anyway, so anyway, I like that. Hang on, Bob. I may call you in here. Asking about Aikido. Okay, here, what kind of suggestion or advice can you give us for the future on the mat so we don't lose the quality and the finer dimensions we're developing now? So we're developing a finer sense of things, but soon you're going to be on the mat busy with techniques with other people. I'm not sure I got the question. Why do we have, of course, we're going to lose a bit because we're going to get busy out there. But isn't there a certain amount we can sustain while we're training? And if we move out of it, to catch it real fast and kick back into it, so we can sustain a certain level of innerness while we're training. I think I threw this example out before. I used to do a whole class as Mr. Back. That was a reference point for me. It wasn't real deep inner work, but Mr. Back is more advanced than Mr. Nose. Hi there. Okay. And other days felt better than Mr. Hips. Mr. Hips is a good guy on the mat. He's kind of squared away a certain, okay. Or Mr. Feet, very aware of the feet wherever they were moving. So I would play a game of every class having a body part as a reference. And it just gave me practice. So as I moved on into finer inner work, I picked up a lot of good tricks of the trade from being constant as Mr. Back, or a whole hour plus as Mr. Hips. No matter what technique I was doing, it was Mr. Hips doing the technique. Then little finer inner work, I had practice of sustaining, so I could practice and hold it pretty well, whatever the inner finer was, maybe a better sense of being centered. I do everything with that degree of center. So I'm not sure what I missed there. Bob, did you hear something different or from what she said?
No, Sensei, I heard the same thing. And
Okay.
if we're going to focus on a technique, even as opposed to just a body part, we can still use that technique as a reference and come back to it over and over again as a reference, and even with some dimensionality practice to work with it as well.
That we turn the movement into the practice. Is that?
Yes, in other words, we're less concerned about how well we're performing the technique and more concerned about what the experience of doing the technique is helping us to grow and develop.
Joanna, that's the best I can do. Did I screw it up too much for you?
Sensei, this is Tisha. Could I
Tisha, sure.
offer something in here?
Please.
I really appreciated what Noah had to say there. I think the kind of the opportunity of the octave of us coming back on the mat will be, I think we can take a lot of these teachings and do them individually. It will also depend a little bit, I think. There's so many teachers on this Zoom right now. If you give some context for that potential to happen, I think would be absolutely a revelation in our practice. So we've learned so much over this past year, working with and having the opportunity to really kind of nurture that inner, it's not just awareness, but presence, and really settling with it. Now the teachers can also give some room for that on the mat.
Okay. I believe, if I hear her, I believe she's a little worried that other people may not play at these better levels, because she says, I'd like my Aikido partners and students. Does that mean she's a teacher? I'm sorry, I don't know your status.
I'm sorry, Sensei, who are we speaking about?
Joanna?
Well, here's Joanna. Maybe you can ask her directly.
You use the word students. Does that make you a teacher?
Yes, I'm teaching also.
Okay. All right. So she's inviting fellow students and our fellow trainees and her students to join her in this journey. At the same time, letting go if they want to return to regular physical wada. Okay. Does that help, Tija? Or
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's good. Helping to give the context for the practice. We can take this whole year's work. You know, we haven't been on the mat, but we have been working. We have been exploring and investigating in a very profound way, I feel. And so, you know, Joanna can take that. I know Noah will do that, and many other teachers will, you know, give some space for this new potential.
Yeah,
I'd say, Bob here. One thing we did in our dojo is we actually had a fairly long discussion about this so that I could get input from the students about what would help them to retain some of what you've shared with us.
cool. Yeah. Geez, something blipped in, blipped out. As long as you guys are on and active, somebody asked, I think, what is Aikido? You want to run with that ball?
Who would you like to start, Sensei?
Bob, you want to start that? Robert?
Yes, just unmuting. I believe, as you've laid out for us rather clearly, Aikido is an art of inner development in a physical form in many cases, but an art of inner development.
Okay. That is. Tisha, anything that's frothing over there?
Yeah, I of course, I love what Noah just said. It's an art of inner development, and maybe the only thing I could append to that is it's about harmony with the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I would have appended.
Yes. So we're working with Aikido as an internal art, which it is, and often isn't given its due in that way. It's more focused on technique and da-da-da. But now the harmony with that's Aiki, you know, that is the way of our practice. And I just so appreciate that we're focusing on this, as Noah said, the internal art of it. It's just it's a beautiful thing. It does my heart so good to be doing this like that.
Yeah, I don't know, I forget how Sensei might have worded that, but something like the harmony of creation, harmony in the movement, and that we're part of that, more than part of it. Nah, can't think of the words right now.
May I?
Yeah, who that?
Moon.
Moon?
The secret of Aikido is to harmonize ourselves with the movement of the universe and bring ourselves into accord with the universe itself.
Okay, self, teacher like that. Self, when we ever get to self, true self, not your idea about, that's not self, true self, okay. It seems like at a certain level of self, the energies naturally move around in balance, harmoniously. Not just as an idea, they're active something. That's my question to O Sensei when I went to Japan. My question was, I know, I believe it up here. I've been meditating. I'm good at meditation, had some great experiences, but is it here? And there he was saying, yep, he was showing it was here. It was active here. So the beauty I saw was here. The balance I saw was here. Da 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 da. So where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, that a proper presence of self, we can, let's say, imagine right now. We can imagine the natural harmonies of the energies. So Sensei would say, you know, when I stand here as I stand, let's say as self, I threw that out as a throwaway line last week. Being self, that the energies at that level have to move harmoniously. Okay, he didn't move the energies. Self fully present, energies move harmoniously. Okay. So he said, doesn't matter how fast you work, not a matter of me moving fast. I'm an old man, right? Both him and me now. But at that level, the energies are instantaneously in harmony. Doesn't matter what you do, they're in harmony. Okay. Yeah. Blah, blah. Anyway, did we sort of cover that? Okay. Yeah. Okay, moving along. Page 11. Something. I kind of like these words of this sense of things. He says, I consciously profess a trust in the process, but my actions often don't back up that trust. But I don't always trust or act with faith in this deeper inner reality. Well, we'll give them points for saying the deeper inner is more real or a reality. We'll give them points there. Answers, here we go. Answers aren't always clear or worded, not always obvious. In his case, it requires patience. Again, I might bring up the character again, because this gentleman tends to be a little more mind before body kind of thing. Okay. So I'm thinking, maybe has an idea about an answer. If he were to be a fuller character, I'm throwing that out as a possibility, be the fuller character at that level, and the answer might be clearer to the fuller character. Okay. If we shift a little bit much just to, I want an answer to please my mind, let's say, we may miss it because we're not present enough, fully enough. We got mind, but we ain't got no body home. So you might double check in listening for an answer to your question, that you be a fuller character and see if that helps. Is that okay? I like this. I'm patient with the process. Cool. He did catch that inner answers have a purity. There's something about it, let me call it balance, inner finer dimensional intelligence, kind of a purity as you're finer and finer and finer. So I kind of like that. And they are not filled with static or confusion. You see, again, using the energy harmonies as a reference. If you've got static, then you're not settled at that level, balanced enough at that level, so it's static, it's confusing. So you don't even try to pick up an answer. Okay, your station's not dialed in right. We gotta get this lined up, present, balanced thing. Energies indicate when it's balanced, and there shouldn't be any static. If there is, you're not balanced enough. So check your energy beats in whatever form you're doing it. Okay. So let's do open mic again. Give me a break here for a moment. Somebody, anything of what we touched on, or anything?
Sensei, this is Tisha again.
Yes, sir.
I really I appreciate the insight that was there in that last inquiry, and the self-honesty there is really, I think, shows both interest and development, inner development.
He's a good guy.
Indeed, that really does come through. The learning to trust the voice that is not the physical or cognitive or mental voice. That's an important one, and it takes a little bit of time to settle in, to learn how to listen, not for words but for meaning, I guess. That's just something I wanted to reference and really appreciate in those statements that you read.
Yeah. Again, follow my brain map. Idea thinking, feeling, finer feeling, sensing, finer dimensional levels of sensing. Should be pretty good around in there. Okay.
Anyone else want to jump in for Sensei?
Yeah, hi, it's Mike.
Oh,
I was
hello,
just going to
Mike.
say, Adam, the question about Aikido on the mat, and how to help preserve as much as possible of what we've been gaining through these sessions over this last year. I'm always thinking in terms of trying to keep it simple for students that haven't got very far along the path, and in terms of the language I use, that what we should be asking our students is, what did you experience in that Aikido technique, both uke and nage? How did you feel you were treated? How did it feel, as opposed to, well, you got him down, congratulations. The experience of the techniques is where we start to get the inner learning.
Okay, sounded like you said, let's bring them down from their ideas, at least to a level of earlier stages of feeling.
Yes.
Now, following my map, that's a little better level for where we're going. Okay, and we're en route to finer sensing, inner, finer. So that's a step along the way. Feel this movement. What did you feel? Now we settle down for a while. Now we'll do the same movement. Now, what are you feeling? Are you feeling more than you did 5 minutes ago? Because we settled down for 4 minutes there, and then we went back to that same move. Does it feel any different? I'm sort of saying, I think you're at a better level of feeling. You should note that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Little. Yeah. Okay. Here's one here. I think what I'm trying to do here, get the right page, 1 second, 4, 5, 6. There it is. Okay. Aikido guy, I recognize the need for a supplementary practice because he's not on the mat, and walking around is okay, but it's not quite enough for him. So a supplementary practice would be kind of cool. And I sort of said to myself when I read that jokingly, he should ask Susan about cutting wood to have a distinct. Yeah, it's too bad we don't have enough of them. I mean, some people both can, that's fine. Yeah, we probably should come up with more practices other than Aikido that you could do that would facilitate this process?
Sensei, some of us have been practicing Tai Chi with Jack just for that purpose.
Yeah, Tai Chi's cool. Yeah. And I was thinking about a childhood game I used to play in my neighborhood. I think we call it stoop ball, tennis ball, or any bouncy ball. We bounce it, bing, bing, bang. I'm learning about something as simple as that. I throw the ball, I catch the ball. I throw the ball, I catch the ball. That's a little short, but might work. Anyway, yeah. We'll give that some thought one day in case we can't get back on the mat again. There we have other more physical, better feedback, things like Susan's cutting wood. Great feedback. If you're not quite there, it won't quite cut. Okay. Okay, here. What interested me on this? Okay, I'm going to reverse the paragraphs. Okay, here he's talking about retiring, and or eventually it's coming up for him. Okay, so, and he's got a good background in our basics. Okay, so it seems the next level for me is beginning to reveal energies and a character appropriate to the situation. So the idea of being a retired gentleman, what do I do kind of thing, he's starting to feel the early surges of it. Okay. And while it is not always comfortable, it does seem to be unfolding to the next level. You see, at a certain level, there's going to be for Bobby, before he moves into Robert, a little nene. And as you cross that border, dimensional line, something, there's a little nene. And then you cross over and you take up citizenship as Robert. And then when Robert goes for Nado, same thing, there'll be a little bip, bip. And then the same process, you're in a better level, mixes up. When you go for sensei, boom, same thing. Okay, are we okay so far with that basic? So he's okay with the retirement thing coming up. Not comfortable, but he feels what's happening and he's sort of okay with it. We okay so far? Now, on the previous paragraph, I'm feeling a need to move toward my next level, whatever that may be. Now, here, it feels a bit like approaching an unknown world. I approach it with some uncertainty and trepidation. You realize what he just said here? In one case, he says, whoa, the world of a retired gentleman. Whoa, it throws me a bit, but I already am getting a flavor of how it works and it'll be okay. Suddenly, he's more going to say fearful, okay? Feels a bit like being in limbo, okay? I don't think that's a normal pause place. Limbo, my sense here is a little darker and a little more ominous. What I think is happening, okay? I may be reaching because I'm into self in this stage of our layout here on Fridays. I really want to bring that out as best as I can. But that self may be making a call, okay? And it's an unknown world. I love that wording. It's an unknown world. It's not the world of the energies to go up and down and in and out. He's okay with that world, even though it's a little bumpy. He's okay with it. He's been through it before. Okay. He's gone from level to level to level, dimensionally finer and finer. Right? Suddenly, woo, a scary one. Okay. One that's not clear. And I'm saying, is that self, which is its own piece, starting to show itself? And because it's a different piece, or let's say a new piece for this lifetime, let's say, that, whoa, what is that? It's nothing I've played with before, or whatever. So that's how I read that. Again, I could be making up stories, but the distinction between being okay with retiring and yes, this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And this other one, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. Ding, caught my attention. We'll see. Okay. Anybody want to say anything about that?
Open mic for anybody?
Sensei, TJ here again. I know I appreciate that he's actually recognizing this other world, which seems to say to me that he's got some sense of the potentials of 1 to 2 to 3 in the way that we speak about it. The unknown world, he's not trying to block it out. He just recognizes that this is a new step, and like, oh wow, this will be a new dimension. Yeah.
And excuse me, I don't want to use the word dimension here. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Dimension or level. Let's use level then. Yeah.
Let's say different thing. It's its own unit.
Okay.
I'll fight you over this another day, okay?
Okay.
And we can throw punches.
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to be careful with the words because say self will be here and we're trying to get the self, and you'll confuse it with a next finer energy mix, and you'll confuse it with a retired guy that's okay being retired in the world. And like, no, this is self, not another energy balance. Okay, that's why I want to be careful on the words. Okay, so if I jump you, don't take it personal. I just want clarity for myself and hopefully for y'all. Anyway.
My feelings are not hurt.
Okay. Let's see, just as an aside, I might have mentioned it before, but TJ and I have been talking about something he bumped into that caught his attention. Plateaus, and he's seeing plateaus with his meditators, and we all know what a plateau is in martial arts. We see plateaus, so we've been talking to try to fine tune that. We'll probably throw that out as a subject one of these coming Fridays, as soon as we feel more comfortable with our sense of it. Okay. TJ, as long as you're on tonight. Good, return to 15. Hang on a moment. There you go. What would you say? Okay. Talking about meditation.
While you're looking, let me share a famous TJ quote. Before you can do anything, you got to do something else.
Okay, so we're talking about meditation here, and sometimes takes me a good half an hour to feel more settled, whatever, even more if it's a busy day. Okay, here, during times when I'm boxed in, and I wish to not be boxed in, a dichotomy arises. I don't want to feel boxed in, and I wish not to be boxed in. It makes clearing more difficult and settling down more distant. Sounds like a teaser opportunity.
Sure. Remember that meditation is not a fix-it program. It sounds like when you come to that place where you're feeling conflicting energies, you probably better do some somatic stuff, do some rowing, do some breathing, some moving, some pulses.
Let me jump in. I had the same feeling when I felt that it might be better just to relax with some movement.
I think so, because you can't think your way into the clarity that he was talking about, and I think he's probably wise in understanding that. He already understands that. So what to do? I would say move, breathe, do something other than trying to sit still and move into some state.
Could we say in the 1x1, 2x2 kind of setup? If you're in a 1x1, don't try to sit and meditate then.
Yeah.
Do some movement to get into at least a 2x2. And then sit and see. But to be in a 1x1 and try to meditate, that's crazy land. Dichotomy, bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang. I kind of like wouldn't start there. I'd do something using that old my other math language, to be in a 2x2, some kind of movement. Look at what we did for a 2x2. We stepped 2 and 2. We actually walked. This as a symbolic game of being in a 2x2. I would do something like that as a possibility. Yeah, TJ, you're on.
I'm 100% with you, Sensei, on that. And I think that people, I tell my Zen students that all the time. And then when I'm working in the Vipassana tradition, as Ross knows, you have to move a little bit. You can't just try to settle down and be in stillness and the connect with the calm in that way. You're fighting yourself in doing that. So the practices that have been used successfully in meditative traditions over the years include the pulses, include the movement, the connection with the breath, and the sense of the earth and the sky and so on, like that.
What about even a simple chant?
Totally, yeah. Sound and vibration, frequency. It can help to clear the mind from trying to figure it out.
And once you sort of feel better with whatever you're using, then attitude, then sit.
Yeah, then
sit. Want to do the sitting form. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I kind of like that, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, where are we? It's early. I don't think I have any more letters here. I think I covered most.
Hi, Sensei. I have a question about meditation, kind of a follow-up question.
Sure.
Okay.
This is Yoshika?
Oh yeah, this is Yoshika.
Very good.
So I found lately that my meditation practice seems to be like almost an escape, right? So I'll meditate and—
How many kids you got, Yoshika?
2.
You're allowed.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's my joke for the day. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Like a wonderful escape, right? So it's calm, it's peaceful. But I don't know, I feel like that's maybe not what I want to get out of meditation. I almost feel like when I come back from meditation, I have to re-enter this physical realm.
Yes. You want to hear what I have to say there?
I do.
Okay. The term, the experience, the sense of character has really been, I think, lost in a lot of spiritual endeavors. Okay. I would like to have it be brought out more clearly and get more people to take advantage of character. So, for example, you're sitting, you get to a calmer place or a nicer place, whatever, certain amount of balance is there because you can sense, feel it, whatever word you would use, right? You get there, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. That at that point where you say, oh, this is pretty cool. And maybe you know you're going to stand up in 5 minutes, although you could do it any place along the line. But anyway, this is pretty cool that you shift from using those energies and you shift into the character self, the character self. At this, what's the word? At this level, who am I? Not as an idea, of course. Who am I with the sense of feeling the character that's being made? Who am I? At this level of harmony, at this level of niceness, whatever you're feeling in your meditation to clue you in that you've got a good balance. Shift to the character, where the character feels herself, mixes herself. So when you're finished with the meditation, it'll be the character who stands and handles the world.
Okay, so that's my next step. Is that what you're saying?
I want to bring this out for everybody because I think character has not been brought up or brought up clearly in a lot of meditation styles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a critical piece. Okay. See, for one thing, I'm a follower of a sensei who always gave the impression or said, character. Why is it important? Because how the character handles itself, is aware of itself, experiences itself, is the precursor. When we go finer eventually, it'll be the self that's there. But all the things the tricks of the trade, the sense of how character hangs with itself, when we move past that to self, there's certain things that are similar. And you'll be glad you had the practice being a fuller character when you hit self, because there's a lot of similarities, even though it's a whole different unit. It's some similarities. It's, I don't know, say tricks and trade. I don't know the words here, but character has been sort of lost in a lot of meditations.
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes, that's great. Thank you.
And I'm saying it's critical, people. It's very important.
Sensei?
I don't want it to be lost.
Sensei, this is Sean.
Yo.
So
Yes,
I hear you saying, when I hear you say character, I get a sense of belonging. And when it's sort of like when you say become a resident, a citizen.
I am.
Yeah, something, more, something even more, like before you have to be a resident before you become a citizen. You have to live there. You have to belong there to some degree.
You have to breathe it, feel it. We okay so far?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, where are you going with this?
Am I correct in assuming that this is what you're talking about is when you, after becoming a citizen and maybe becoming a diplomat or whatever.
Okay. For me right now, don't change the words to those examples.
Okay. Sure.
I know I've used those examples before, but not now.
Right.
Talking about character. Let's kind of tighten it up a bit. Character. Okay.
But this is the same thing when you talk about resident and citizens, right?
Again, you're changing the language, which I sort of don't want to do right now, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, those are your words. I mean, I hear you say
I know, but I'm saying not now.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, great words, but maybe not now. I don't want to get fluttered around on this important piece that I'm trying to highlight right now.
Well, that was my initial thing is belonging, being a sense of belonging.
I'm not even sure if I like the word belonging. I'm not sure how you're using it. Okay. Belonging. I don't, right now it feels to me like an idea. I belong. Feeling myself. It's It's not, there's no idea about belonging. I'm here and I do this and I'm part of this, whatever. It's felt, it's experienced, it's a fact. No,
Gotcha.
I'm just afraid of certain words.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been here before.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm afraid of certain words. Boom, 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 boom. The character is he who stands. Boom, boom, boom. No great shakes, but it's one step in that direction.
Presence.
Yeah.
Yep.
We move into finer through meditation, get to a better, oh, that's a nice level. Now I'll be a character. If you want, you could just do it as a standard. Not that you should. You should be your own character, but oh, at this finer level, I'll stand. Oh, this is more beautiful standard. I felt kind of pretty standing. I felt, as I'm showing, that's at a finer level, that's what the standard did. But I'm somebody. I'm a standard.
And very handsome too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a comment?
Let's go back. Yoshka, you okay with that? With that? Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the question, because I should be reminded more often, because for me, this has been an important thing I would like to get across, especially to the meditators, that this piece added on there. Let's say you're meditating for 15 minutes, you get to a nice place, you kind of feel, oh, nice zone, that you take an aside or whatever. At that level, you just mix up, who am I, the character? And you see who gets mixed. So only going to take a couple minutes. And then once you got a feeling for the character, you can shift, sort of erase that, and go back to the finer harmony of things in your meditation. Move on to a finer level. If after another 15 minutes you're at a finer level, you can do an aside and pick up the character can be mixed there. Okay. Anytime you feel harmonious, clue you in. It's a good enough spot to change to checking out the character. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or as I said, to wait to the end of your meditation, definitely do it there. Otherwise, you'll forget and you'll come up with the same question or complaint. I meditate, but something is not quite here. Yeah. Anyway, good. People, where are we?
We're at 7:40 on the clock. And
Okay.
if there's nobody else wants to jump in here, we'll
give him a minute.
Oh.
Give him a minute. Give him a
minute.
Sensei.
Oh, they're
There's a
jumping
voice
up.
out there.
No, Sensei, this is Andrew. How's it going?
Andrew.
To be quite honest, I'm a little confused about the whole character and self thing. So I was wondering if I can ask you a question, if this is a good metaphor for the whole thing. Could the self be like an actor and the character be like the roles that the actor plays from time and time again? I don't know. I'm just shooting it out there.
I don't know if that does it for me. See, character and the role. No, too much. The character is what's drawn on the board. The energies around and the energies, and there's a character.
Okay.
The self is the paper. Or the piece of glass, or the elusive one, the elephant in the room. Oh, I can think about it, but that's not it. I can settle down and get some sense of it. That's not it, but keep going. Only self is self. You'll only know it when it's itself there. Everything else is all right bullshit, but it's all right. You got to bullshit it. You got to read about it. You got to hear about it. We got to talk about it. allude to it, but only self is self. Everything else is bullshit. Maybe needed, maybe useful, but it's still in a certain way, not those language, bullshit. Only self is self. Okay? So you may have had a good story with the actor and the whatever, but I sort of didn't catch it. So anybody
I guess
want
I'll
to
run
jump
with
in
it,
on that?
but thank you.
Okay. There was a feminine voice in the background. Somebody?
Me. Hi.
I hear me.
My name's
There
Autumn.
you are.
Hello.
Yes.
I
Autumn, we
Autumn,
can
I
barely
don't know
hear
who you are. Are you?
Please move
Are you
closer to the
new?
mic. Excuse me.
Hi.
Autumn, we can barely hear you. Please move closer to your microphone.
And roar.
Yeah.
Nope, still.
Really?
But we'll try.
Okay, so my question is, when we're in the self and the character is kind of no longer, maybe not necessary or as necessary, how do we?
Okay, hold it.
Mm.
Okay, in the self. And so you're saying you're jumping here and saying self is present. Is that what you're doing? Self. Okay, we'll bullshit about this. We're just talking about it right now. If you're still in creation, you're going to need a character. So self can be there, but there's going to be a character involved or affected by, find your own words there, with the energies and the energies. But you're going to have to be here. See, as far as I'm concerned, Sensei was, you know who Sensei is? Because I don't know who you are.
Yes.
Okay. Sensei was present, and I'm proposing he was present as self. But when the self was there was this old man who was there, and magic shit would happen all around him because things were in harmony. Okay. So did I wear close to what you were talking about?
Yes, and I'm curious, when the challenges and uncertainties of being the self come up, how do we move through those?
You're talking about the journey heading towards self.
Yes.
Right? That's what we're trying to do here. Basics. How do we settle a bit? How do the energies work? We're just trying to get the practices to get to a finer dimensions. Okay, with those energies, the energies of the center, the energies of the circle, the energies of the character in the world it's in, and the fuller characters it's all related there. Okay, and eventually self. So we've got some journeying to do before we get to self. Journey along with us, or journey in your own form, or yeah, it's a bit of a trip. My sense now is I don't think it's as far away a certain way. I've got to be careful how I say this. As see, a lot of us have 30, 40, 50, whatever years in this game. And there still isn't self. And I'm thinking that's a bit bullshitty. I'm a good mapper of the energies, and I'll just map the hell out of them. I'm very good at that. But have I overdone it a certain way? Have I been so busy mapping out the finer dimensions and then the finer dimensions that I forgot to say, hey, self, and see if it'll present itself? Have I, in a certain way, wasted a lot of time fine-tuning the energies within the universe creation? I'm mulling on that. That's why I'm hearing people, that's why I think I'm hearing self call out from some of those letters. They have enough balance. Now I've got to decide, when is enough enough? Because a lot of people say, okay, I'm balanced. Self, where are you? And it'll be total bullshit. Make up God. Bad. but a certain level where self may want to show it's there, that it's a good enough level. You have enough sense of dimensionality. I don't think you got to do 300 dimensions of finer dimensional to have a sense of how it works, but you need more than one, two, three. How many do we need before self begins to want to show? Okay, so I'm kind of also thinking about picking up the pace with people. So I said that, were you on last week or the last couple of weeks?
Yes.
I said to Gina, I inferred, Gina, you're telling me your history of this work is you do well in many different situations, you're handling them well, you're faster than anyone else at this, da-da-da-da-da-da. But suddenly she's running into a stoppage place. I'm thinking, why should she run into a stoppage place now? She's got a track record. Click, 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 click. Suddenly she's running into a stoppage place. I said, well, really, to be honest, I should check your process out. But my other sense was, Gina, do you really need another finer dimension there? Or is it time to go for self? And I made a joke about it because she sings. I said, Gina, do you need another, whatever, octave? I don't know musical terms, bear with me. You want to move into a finer dimension so you can sing one octave higher? Come on. And then we brought up the age thing. She's not 20 anymore. Where an octave higher might be, wow, that's great. But now, I don't know about you, lady, but I'm getting old here. Okay. Are we wasting our time doing finer and finer and finer when it's time for self? That's where I'm going. Okay. And there's a lot of white hair out there. I think you people ought to join me. And even those of you who don't have white hair, if you have this sense of self, that there's something more than all of this, even though this could be nice and balanced and successful and all of that, there's a sense of, but who the hell am I? Kind of thing. Okay. Anyway, that's where I'm heading. So if you want to join along, we'll do the best we can. Are we finishing up for tonight? Anybody?
Sensei, I think that I heard a nuance in Autumn's question about, that I wonder if you could respond to specifically, what to do when self-doubt arises.
Well, that's not self-doubting. That's all the assholes along the way that are doubting. That's not self. Self doesn't have any doubt. Come on, people. You're talking about this guy's got, hang on, this guy's got doubt. And he settles a bit and he's not sure even about that. And he has doubt. The paper doesn't have doubt. It's those characters along the way.
So short of being fully realized or fully experiencing yourself, one might have doubts.
Yes.
And so
deal with it.
Well, they're asking, I think Autumn's asking your advice as to how to deal with the doubt, how to get past the doubt and to keep going.
It's kind of basic. That's a basic work. If I'm a little uptight, I doubt everything and I'm not sure. I call it the metronome mind sometimes. Bing and a bang and a bing. I like it. No, I don't like it. Well, I'm not sure if I should like it. Should I like it? Bing, 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 bing. And nothing happens proper there. I settle a bit. Now here, I have no doubt that I'm beginning to breathe. I can feel it. I'm breathing, okay? Feels like my body is starting to feel more of itself, body. Okay? Now, I can't prove that, but seems like. So I could doubt it, or I could say, well, we'll see. My body is feeling itself a bit more. If it's wrong, we'll see. Truth will win out in the long run. I don't know, just little games along the way that everyone has to learn in their own system. Of course, you're going to doubt. Of course, you're not going to be sure. Of course, you're going to be agitated with yourself, or you being agitated with the system process. Of course. Deal with it. There's no magic pack that I can give you or anybody can give you that will tell you, oh, I'm saved. I'm the pure one. I haven't seen anyone walk around with that feather to tap on your head so you'll be realized. Deal with it. Learn the tricks of the trade. We'll try to present some of the tricks of the trade, but you're the one that has to sit through the shit that you'll realize after a while is nutrients, that you'll realize after a while is beautiful stuff. It's the life force of part of the universe. Oh my God, I thought it was shit. You got to work through your own shit. Sorry, Lauren, I got no better thing here.
Thank you. And Tom Lewis has a
Oh,
question.
Tom, yes.
Hi, Sensei.
Hey, Tom.
You know, for me in my meditation lately, it's the whole sense of self-listening, listening to self, and doubts do come up, but I have to give myself some time to settle and listen to them, not try to ignore them. So the listening is part of the practice, part of the connection, part of listening for character, part of listening for character developing and recognizing itself. I'm looking forward, as a relative early student on the mat, the one thing I'm going to be looking forward to coming back is listening for all this energy and teachings that have happened over the last years to come forward and manifest themselves without effort. I'll make a move, I'll do something, and what we've learned over the last year will come forward if I listen. If I give myself the opportunity to listen.
Okay, and we'll go over a lot of this.
Without struggling with it.
Yeah. I'm just going to say we'll go over some of the self-dialogue when we have a more of a major Friday on self, which we have to do soon. You know, there are Aikido classes. Ross is teaching Aikido classes in the city.
This is something I heard of, and are there weekday dates or?
I don't know. Call Ross.
And Ross, Are you here, Ross?
I know how to find him.
Okay. There's Saturday weapons classes. They're done in the park, and email him.
No. He's doing dojo class.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's
Here
Ross.
comes Ross.
Yeah, so we got a Sunday class, an actual, in dojo waza class on 18th Street. It's at we're using a space at it's a Hapkido Jiu-Jitsu school that one of our Aikido students is one of the co-owners of. So
give him the address, Ross.
What is the address? Here, hold on a second.
That's why he didn't give you the address. He doesn't know.
No, I know it. It's wait, I know I have it.
Well, if
call each other.
We can do this by email.
No, here we go. It's 1786 18th Street.
1786 18th Street, San Francisco. On what days, Ross?
Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Is that it? No, you've got more than that.
No, we're working on schedules right now.
Oh, okay.
So, and we got to waive. People have to sign a waiver. And I'm working out I have to work economics with the school, but it's a lovely little space. It really can't fit more than probably 12 to 14 people per class, but I wouldn't say that's a big problem so far.
I heard soft mats.
Nice mats, very nice mats.
Okay, people.
Well, thank you for that. Can't wait to feel what's coming forth.
Yeah, it's great. So if you want to come, just if you could shoot me a text or an email, just so I'll, give you whatever information you need. And generally, we're trying to have people. It's people who've been vaccinated.
Thank you very much, Nado Sensei. Thank you for a wonderful class, everybody. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming and staying and listening and participating. And so we're signing out for the evening.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
Bob.
care.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thanks, Sensei.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Sensei. Good night, all.
Then the silence comes.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mike.
Bye.
Good night, Mark.
Good night.
Tom.
Good night, wonderful people.
Danny.
See you, mate.
Chris.
I won't
Thank
see you
you.
next week. Sorry. Bye bye.
Over and out.